Happy Sunday, traders. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my Sunday Outlook. Just want to welcome you guys back. I know it's been about 2 weeks since I've done one of these Outlooks. I've been extremely busy just in my personal life. In the past 2 weeks, I finished up the 6-week online course with Positive Traders. My first ever 6-week course, by the way. My second 6-week course, I'm going to be opening enrollment for that this week. Also, last weekend, I had my first ever in-person event out here in Phoenix, Arizona. That was really exciting. So make sure you guys are checking my social media over the next week or so. I'm going to be posting some content from, from that event. But yeah, I'm really excited, guys. I also did some traveling this past week, was in Vegas for a couple of days, so I am back, and yeah, we are back onto the weekly outlooks. So I'm excited to deliver some value to you guys this week. It's really good to see all of you guys, and you guys will notice that there are about 7 different pairs that I have marked off over here to the right that we're going to be looking at. So it's gonna be an exciting day. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into things. Let's go ahead and start off with the economic calendar as usual. So since it's been and by the way, guys, if you can do me a huge favor, please be sure to smash that like button, please, guys. Really helps out with the algorithm getting this information out to more people. Really helps support the channel. It just supports me, guys, so I appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe if you aren't already subscribed so you can get all this awesome value on these weekly outlooks. I see there's some questions in the chat, guys. I'll get to those in just a second, but good to see all of you guys in here. But let's just very quickly, before I jump into new content, just kind of recap, since it has been 2 weeks, just to kind of see what's happened in the market. So right now, we're entering, it's August 11th, maybe August 12th for some of you guys, so halfway through August. But just to recap, back on July 31st, we saw, because the last time we met was, I think, on July 21st. That was the last free outlook I did. I've really just been focused with my students, guys. I do a daily webinar with my private students every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I've been doing those and just focused with my students and doing trading in there. And then, of course, juggling my own stuff. So, but I'm glad to get back to these. So back on the 31st, we saw the Federal Reserve cut interest rates. Okay, so they began an easing process here in the U.S. and they dropped the overnight interest rate by 25 basis points, or at 0.25%. So, and this has been expected. All right, those of you guys that may remember weekly outlooks before that, leading up to this, we were expecting this, and this is really what's given me the fundamental backing to the USD weakness or the USD sell-off that I've been looking for. And so, just before we even, go even further in today, just to be very clear with you guys, I am biased to a weaker US dollar, all right? I am expecting the US dollar to continue dropping. This should not be news to many of you guys. Those of you guys that are supportive and follow these weekly outlooks, you guys know that I've been expecting a sell on the US dollar for a while, a big sell. All right, I'm looking for a big short on the US dollar. Which mostly I've been talking about my upside on Euro USD, right? I know, wow, everybody on social media is saying sell Euro USD. Me for the better half of this quarter and last quarter have been expecting Euro USD to find a strong reversal, which now we can start to see, just to take a look at like Euro USD, now we can start to see, now everybody's going to start bandwagoning and hopping on, and all the trading groups are going to start to see that Euro USD, the true move in Euro USD, is a buy, like I've been calling for a while now. But we're going to get into that in just a second. Let's just look at this week on the economic calendar very quickly. So it's a pretty regular week in the market. There's no interest rate decisions or anything like last week. Actually, also just to kind of touch on last week, we saw the Reserve Bank of New Zealand cut interest rates by an extra 25 basis points. So they were supposed to already cut interest rates by 0.25%. They cut interest rates by 0.5%, 50 basis points. while the RBA kept interest rates the same. So last week was a pretty crazy week for those pairs, but that was last week. So this week, there is some inflation early on this week. So we've got on Tuesday some inflation for the US dollar in the morning. We've got some inflation reports for the pound on Wednesday morning. We also have some labor reports for the Australian dollar Wednesday evening. And then that's pretty much going to be it. Thursday we have some retail sales for the US dollar, and that's the end of the week. All right, so no interest rate decisions this week. There's actually there is Governor Kent from the RBA speaking, but there's no, and RBA Assistant Governor DeBell speaks, but there's no high impact speakers. We don't see Powell speaking this week. We don't see anybody that is notable from any central banks speaking this week. So overall, a fairly, I'd call it like a regular week, right? Where we have some, a regular week to me is when we have, just like a handful, a good mix of some high impact news, maybe some inflation, some labor reports, maybe some GDP, who knows, and then a more volatile week is going to be a week that includes an interest rate decision, such as like last week or even the week before last. So kind of a nice little, depending on how you look at it, not necessarily nice, but just a little bit of a break in terms of volatility. So that's another thing. Also, the past 2 weeks have been pretty volatile in the market. So if you guys have been trading, hopefully you guys have been staying safe. Hopefully you guys have been using good risk management. Oops, I don't know why I closed out the economic calendar. Hopefully you guys have been using good risk management and just sticking through things. So let's get into the charts. All right, so I want to give you guys a lot of value, let you guys know where my head is at, and let's just jump into things. Okay, so dollar index. All right, this is the weekly chart of the dollar index. All right, I'm assuming that if you guys are here, that you guys are probably used to watching, like you guys have watched my weekly outlooks before, right? You guys have been consistent in keeping up with them, and you know that I have been expecting USD weakness, right? And a lot of this is from the fundamental side of the Fed cutting interest rates. We know that they're planning on continuing cutting interest rates, or that's what's expected. So that is what is fueling the fundamental side of my USD weakness. We've also looked at some sentimental things like the COT report. I've given a little bit of a lesson on the COT report in the past. So if we look at, just for example, the commitment of traders, the Euro COT data, we just maybe take a look at the past 12 months of data, we can see where commercials have moved from an extreme net long position, and they've decreased their longs and increased their amount of shorts, while large speculators have done the opposite. So that gives us our sentimental backing to buy Euro USD, which is all relating to selling the US dollar. So we have those, which are huge, and then we also have the technical side. All right, so in the past 2 weeks, the dollar index has pretty much done a textbook manipulate. It depends on how you look at it. You can look at it like manipulation. It's planned, but it's manipulation. It's a form of manipulation that's planned. So early August, about 2 weeks ago, we saw the highs of the dollar index broken, and this is very common. I want to just make something very clear to those of you guys that might be new to trading. All right, don't have a how should I say this? Your strategy when it comes to trading should not be like, if the highs break, buy, if the lows sell, or if the lows break, sell. Okay, you're gonna have a really hard time finding success with that style of trading because of how manipulated the markets are. And what I mean to say is, a perfect example of just inducing buyers and stopping out early sellers is what happened in August. All right, and this is what happened. This is what, depending on what you call this, this can be called a spring, this can be called a breaker, this can be called a liquidity grab, all right, a PRZ, a potential reversal zone, whatever you want to call this. But basically, We saw price through the last week of July break through the highs, and what this does is when it breaks these highs, is keep in mind, okay, there's two sides to every market. There's buyers and there's sellers. So when price breaks these highs, there's going to be buyers, all right, that already have buy stops in place, right? They have a lot of buy stops just above the highs, and they're expecting with that analysis, okay, if the highs break, it's going to continue going. And then there's also going to be sellers that sold down in this area, you know, maybe throughout July or June or whenever, and they have their stop losses just above the highs. All right. So anytime you, like, the market does this every single day, every single week on all sorts of different time frames to stop out certain participants and induce either buying or selling, you know, to its respective side, to create liquidity for the true move in the market. So this is all expected, or this is all expected if you guys were in my private trading group on my daily webinars. We've been expecting this, and price has been moving exactly as we want. But yeah, I believe it's going to continue moving. It's as simple as that. The dollar index is going to keep dropping. You know, in my opinion, you kind of have to be an idiot to be buying the US dollar right now. There's too much backing from fund. I mean, basically, I think you're an idiot if you're selling EURUSD. All right. Sorry to be so like blunt, but yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be selling EURUSD. I think you should only be looking for buys. The US dollar is gradually weakening, and you know, everybody that might not see it right now, you will see it in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, as it becomes more, obviously as the US dollar continues to drop and it becomes more apparent. You guys will see after the fact. So the move, you know, the whole key to being a trader, guys, isn't necessarily, you know, there's a reactive side and there's a predictive side to trading, and you want to, of course, be able to react to situations, but ideally you want to be able to get into moves before they happen. All right, that's the key. All right, you don't want to get into moves, you know, like right now, there's a lot of people that are saying to buy the dollar. There's a lot of people that are saying to sell EURUSD, and it's going to be too late when the dollar is too far down and EURUSD is too high. It's going to be like you missed the boat on that type of thing. So watch these pairs. I mean, it's so simple, guys. I've been calling it for so long. So let's move on to another instrument. So even gold. All right, guys, I've been calling gold for forever. So for those of you guys that have been following me for weeks, months, whatever, since the beginning of this year, however long, I have been calling gold going to 1,500, 1,600 since this year. And I don't say that to sound arrogant or boast, guys. I'm just saying that, like, this is the truth. Like, any single person in here can fact check me. I have all the recordings. There's recordings for the past 3 years of these weekly outlooks that I've done. Go listen to a recording from earlier this year. You can pick any of my weekly outlooks from January or February. I will definitely, it probably would take you less than 5 minutes to find me talking about gold, because you can just skip. You can see when I'm on the gold chart, you know, randomly click on a video from January and just go look. Just go look and you'll see. I said that gold would go to 15. Well, first I said gold would break the multi-year highs, okay, which at the time earlier this year was this 13, is it where this blue area is at, okay, this like 1375 area. All right. I also said once it broke this area, it would go up to the 1,500, 1,600 area at least. Okay. Now we're there. We're only August of 2020. Okay. We still have what, 4 months, about 5 months, almost 5 months until the year is over. And 2000 isn't a crazy prediction to see within like the next 6 to 12 months. Okay. So gold will continue, keep going. I feel bad for anybody. I mean, I don't really ever feel, I feel bad. I mean, you shouldn't be trading real money if you don't know what you're doing, but I feel bad for anybody that's been trying to like sell gold, and because the thing is, guys, is as soon as gold breaks, this is like the kind of like that I don't like people just need to have some more education when it comes to trading. People think that like when it breaks yearly highs, like back in June, they think it has to come back down, okay? Like they think, like, I don't know where they learn it or where they're taught or who teaches them, but they think that because it breaks, guys, like you need to also remove like these limits of the market, that there's never ever like too high or too low, okay? The markets, just because they're at an extreme high or an extreme low, doesn't mean that they have to go up or go down from an area. If they're an extreme high, they can keep going, and gold is a perfect example. I've seen many people blowing accounts, just trying to continue selling gold, picking the top on gold, selling, and I'm sorry to say, guys, that gold is not slowing down anytime soon. You guys see the global economy right now? The entire global economy is shit. Look at every central bank right now. Every freaking central bank is dovish. Every central bank is looking at, basically every central bank is looking at easing right now. Look at all the safe havens. Look at the Swiss franc. Look at the yen. Look at gold. Look at how strong everything's going. The entire world economy is shit right now, you know, just to be pretty blatantly clear with you guys. So if you guys are wondering why gold is flying through the roof and getting to these multi-year highs, that's why. Okay. So that's gold. Euro USD, look for this reversal on Euro USD. It's going to continue going. I mean, textbook manipulation. Look at what it does. It breaks the yearly lows so that everybody sells. It stops out all the buyers, and now we're finding the bottoming, and it's going to continue just moving up from here. I'm telling you guys right now, from here, I believe Euro USD will hit 118 before Euro USD would get back down to 110. Okay, I believe it'll go up 600 pips before it comes down 200 pips. I 100% believe that. Okay, and this is what the market is going to do. Okay, just watch it play out. It's so abundantly clear. If you know this is the thing, guys, is like people will say, oh, you never know what's going to happen. Like we never can predict. Like yes, that's like, you know, we can say that that's like fundamentally true about the market, right? Like that's like, obviously, I can't guarantee everything. If you know the right information to look at, you can analyze with confidence, okay? It's not really a matter of 50-50 anymore. It's like an 80-20 scenario, or like a 70-30, 75-25 scenario. Like I feel so confident that these things are going to happen. Because and it's not just like random, like a crapshoot. It's I have a track record, guys. Go through. I mean, those of you guys that have just been following me for years and years and years now, as I analyze the market week after week, guys will see my targets that I call. You know, I'm not saying I'm like a god, like they're always perfect, but they do hit. Most of my targets get hit. All right. USD Swiss franc, all right, so it's been about 2 weeks since we met. Last time we met, we were about 200 pips higher. And what have I been saying? Go back and watch my recording 2 weeks ago. I said USD Swiss franc would keep dropping, okay? Maybe if this gives you guys, maybe helps you give a little bit perspective, try zooming out the chart sometimes and just looking at it like this, okay? Condense the charts a little bit. I'm not even joking, guys. I can look at the chart like this and have nothing else on the chart and tell you what direction the chart is going to move. Okay, just because price action is so abundantly clear, and when you combine that with the fundamental backing of and the correlation to the other pairs right now, it's like there's no other way it's going to go. All right, there's no other way it's going to go. So USD Swiss franc is going to keep dropping. I called it 2 weeks ago. If you caught it from 200 pips higher, awesome. But it's going to keep going. All right. Dollar yen, same thing. If you were here 2 weeks ago when we were making this bear flag at these lows, I said dollar yen is going to go down to this blue box. I said that 2 weeks ago. All right. And now we're 300 pips lower. All it took, guys, was you to spend 30 minutes watching a weekly outlook, and you were able to, between two pairs, 500 pips. USD, Swiss franc, and dollar yen, 500 pips in 2 weeks. Okay. And it'll keep going. Dollar yen will keep going. The yen, I already talked about the safe haven currencies, right? Swiss franc, gold, the yen, right? They're going to keep strengthening. The US dollar is shit right now. It's going to keep getting shit. It's going to keep going to shit. All right? I've been calling it. Now it's happening. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you guys so. Okay? Eliminate the noise. You know, I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of traders have is that is either A, they're focusing on too many things, like too many groups, too many channels, too many Facebook, like they're in 50 different Facebook groups, 50 different Telegram groups, 20 different WhatsApp channels, you know, 10 different Instagram groups. And their phone is getting blown up by notifications. Buy here, sell here. Like they're getting so overwhelmed. Focus on a couple people that know what they're doing. Focus on the higher time frames. You're going to find a lot higher success, a lot less stress. AUDUSD. So this is actually a trade. I'm looking at it for this week. This is a trade I took last week. Okay, so me and my students, we took this last week right here on what was this? I think Thursday, something like that. Zero drawdown. Immediately went into profit. About within like 12 hours, we were up at 50 pips of profit. That was about a 1 to 2 risk to reward at these highs. I set my stop loss at break even. You can see actually like 2 hours ago, I was stopped out at break even. So I'm gonna get back into this pair. Like it's so clear. Like this is like another pair where, sorry if I offend anybody if I say idiot, but I think you're kind of an idiot if you're selling AUDUSD. Okay. Okay, if you're doing anything but buying AUDUSD right now, I think doesn't make any sense. Okay. It's so abundantly clear that AUDUSD is going to have this reversal, is going to continue. Like I can't even make it. It's going to go up. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's going to go up to at least my take profit. It's going to go up to at least the 50% retracement level. 100%. I mean, I can't guarantee anything. Don't ever take that as like a guarantee, guys. Don't like over risk or over leverage your account when I say that. But yeah, that's the kind of confidence I have behind my trades. Okay. But yeah, AUDUSD is looking good for some upside too. It's a bummer I got stopped out at break even, but it is what it is. I'm transparent with you guys, right? I'm not gonna be like I'm not like the guru that pretends like every single trade that I take has zero drawdown and I'm making 600 pips every freaking week, right? Nah. You got someone that's telling you that they're making 1,000 pips every single week. They're liars. They're liars, all right? Okay, as simple as that. You know, I'm not saying, guys, like don't come at me say, oh, I've made it. Like, guys, yeah, you can make 1,000 pips in 1 week. Like that's totally fine. Like, yeah, but I'm talking like the people that say that they claim to make 1,000 pips every week, month over month, week after week, year after year. These guys that, you know, these 0 losing 90% win rate. Those guys don't exist, guys. They're just making up numbers. Okay. Real traders win 50 to 60% of the time. They focus on risk to reward. They focus on risk management, and they're looking at the market in a different way. Yeah, AUDUSD is going to continue going higher. So students, people connected to my trade copier, that type of thing, we're going to be definitely taking an AUDUSD trade this week. So abundantly clear that it's going to continue going higher. Okay. And USDCAD is gonna go lower. Okay, so just so you guys know, if you don't know, AUDUSD and USDCAD. I mean, this isn't the believe me, this is not the reason I'm taking the trade. Okay, this is just a little piece, a little nugget. So AUDUSD and USDCAD have a negative correlation to each other. Okay, but you guys will know that I've been looking to sell USDCAD for a long time. Okay, I mean, I've been calling USDCAD. I mean, look at I'll just pull it out again. Remember I said the best thing you can do is like just zoom out on the higher time frames and it can tell you everything you need to know. Look at this. I can look at USDCAD right here, look at it for 5 seconds and say, oh wow, USDCAD is gonna tank over the next 6 to 12 months. Absolutely shit itself. It's gonna go all the way back down here at least. All right. And it's just, only way I can tell you guys, I mean, the only way I can explain it in like an easy way on this outlook is experience is the way. But I mean, I've obviously given you guys substance before and given you guys gone super in depth on these pairs before and given you guys multiple facts. So I'm more just just reconfirming, or those of you guys that are curious, wanting to know my outlook, it has stayed the same. All right, I've been calling USDCAD correcting up to the 50% retracement level for a while. I said that 2 weeks ago, and it did. USDCAD is looking nice, and it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep dropping. Okay. USDCAD is gonna keep dropping hard. 129. Write it down. 129. That's the first. All right. So let's see what we have in the chat. What's up, guys? George, you said the AUDUSD trade. Can you cover what was the result of this? Okay, yeah, I think you asked that right before I went over it, so hopefully you know now. Andres, looks like we got stopped out on a stop hunt. Andres, you're a student, so we didn't get stopped out. It broke even. So I don't like to use the phrase stopped out, because that makes it sound like it was a losing trade or we lost money on it, which we didn't. We broke even. So, but hopefully after my analysis, it looks like you asked that question too before I went over AUDUSD. So hopefully you have an idea of what we're gonna do with that. Giovanni said to continue, USD Swiss franc sell, the dollar index has to lose strength since it's, yes, right, yeah, that's right, Giovanni. For USD Swiss franc to continue dropping, for this pair to continue dropping, we need the US dollar to continue to weaken. Absolutely, 100%. And that is what I believe will happen. Okay. So that is that, guys. All right, guys, that's going to be it, though. If you have enjoyed today's live weekly outlook, or even if you just watched the recording, please smash that like button, guys. All right. It really helps support the channel. It really motivates me to keep doing these weekly outlooks. Shows me that you guys enjoy them. Shows me that you guys like the content that I have. And, you know, I mean, if I don't get any likes on it, then I don't think anybody likes my stuff. So definitely motivates me to get higher, or to create higher quality content for you guys. So I appreciate all of you guys. Have a safe week trading out there. For all of my students, I will see you all tomorrow for our first daily webinar of the week, as usual. And everybody else, I'll see you on next Sunday's weekly outlook. So take care of you guys, everybody, guys, and have a safe week trading.